Alright guys, we're in the garage for our semi-annual day to work on the truck and try to make it a little bit better and try to keep it running well into the 200,000 mile range. I don't have too much critical things to do on it today. The main thing is really just going to be change the oil. I picked up a replacement stock radio. The radio was starting to go out, the tape deck had already died. So for me to be able to listen to anything, I want to get that new one in. And I'm just going to see what I can do to try to make it a little bit cleaner and give the truck a little bit of a spa day. Probably didn't pick the best day for it. It's coming, I think the last time I checked, it's about 102 out. So I'll be a puddle by the time I finish this, but hopefully the truck is a little appreciative of that. So yeah, I hope you hang out with me as I work on the truck here. Let's go. I am pretty excited about this. The truck holds about 7 quarts of oil, and my old pan was right at 7 quarts. So I went and bought this nice new fancy one that should have no problem holding all of the oil from the truck. The old one is blocking some coolant in a bucket from the E30. I have this creeper thing that I barely use, mainly because it doesn't fit under the E30 unless I really jack it up, but the truck, it gives me just enough room to get under here. I feel like I should have went with a long socket so I run less risk of getting it on me. Hopefully it's not still hot. Drove the truck earlier. Oh yeah, and this tray has a place to put the bolt. Smells nice, not sludgy. Engine okay. So for my oil filter, I went with this K&N one, and you can see it has like this nut bolt thing on the top so you can wrench it on. Not sure if I really like that. It feels like an easy thing to round out when you're taking it off. Hopefully it does come off easy next time I change the oil. Probably won't buy this again just because I'm a little nervous about that. But you know, we'll see. Time to fill the truck back up with oil. Well, I'm a funnel user now. You can sue me later, but hopefully no spills. The place that I thought was for the bolt is actually for the filter. But it's still pretty smart to have a place for it to drain. So it's finally time to clean this sticker off of here. I think it's held on pretty well, but it has reached the end of its life. Still have this NHRA sticker that's hanging in there up top. Nothing on the other side. But I'm definitely looking for recommendations on what to replace and put here. I looked through my stack of stickers, but nothing really jumped out at me just yet to put in this place. I'm hoping just scraping it and using some Goo Gone will get the rest of that out of there. Well, that's looking much better. So my brief break ended up taking about a week, so we're back in the garage to finish up our work with the truck. I've been having some difficulties with the cassette working in my radio. I use the cassette to plug into my phone because there's no smart technology here. I did pop the unit out a couple weeks ago and I did try to clean it, but it didn't seem to solve any of my issues. So I went ahead and picked up a used radio that was confirmed to be working, so hopefully I can swap this in fairly easily and be back to being able to plug my phone in for some music. We're back in the good old days of 2012 buying car parts off of eBay. Nicely packed up. Looks like what was on the listing. The radio on these Rams are actually super easy to take out. There's one screw here and then a couple clips that you just have to pop loose. I've linked this in some of my other interior trim videos. It's a great tool that we'll use today, and I can put the link in the description so that if anybody needs one, good to have on hand. One screw. Just lean that out of the way. Don't have to disconnect anything there. You got 4 more screws to get the radio out. We'll have to find that screw later. And I'll try to put the clip I took a few weeks ago of testing the radio and showing what noise it makes. Basically, it just can't read the cassette and then it spits it out, so it never recognizes anything in there. I'm going to go ahead and put a tape in. Just kind of recycles a few times. Can't pick anything up, and then it'll eventually spit it back out. No good. Okay, so I have the new one, the old one. I realized I left a CD in there, so we're gonna retrieve that before giving up with this one. Blackfoot. Don't want to lose that one. Cleaned it up so it fit in here a little bit better. Time to put everything back together, and another quick job done. There we go, back together like I was never in here. Don't let anybody tell you your miscellaneous bucket of bolts and screws is pointless. I just found a screw to reconnect my driver's side door panel switch. So with that screw in there, it'll no longer be flopping around. And it's all thanks to this random container filled with nuts, bolts, screw, washers, whatever else I've had on hand. So there we have it, another short little weekend of trying to take care of the truck. I think that's going to wrap it up for now. I think next time I do anything, let's see if we get it in frame. Something about these headlights need cleaning. So we'll see. We'll add that to the list and kind of keep tallying up what we might want to be doing to the truck to try to keep it running right, keep it looking good. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.